Hello everyone, I'm Renown Zero. We're back with an absolute massive breaking news over the patent lawsuit that Nintendo and Pokemon Company filed against Pocket Pair and Palworld, as they have been delivered a huge blow in the lawsuit that they have against Pocket Pair and Palworld, coming to us of course from Video Games Chronicle. Before we get into it, it seems like they thought that they were going to own the market as far as patents involving capturing, throwing spherical objects, and capturing monsters, as well as mounting, something that's been in games like World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XI and Final Fantasy XIV for a very long time. And now they've been denied a patent for the capturing mechanic over in the Japan office, even after they were given the okay in the American office of the patent law. But let's get into this article, like I said, from Video Games Chronicle, saying Nintendo has been denied a patent in Japan for a Pokemon-like capturing mechanic. Now, you're going to see some actual irony when it comes to this mechanic itself. The application was seemingly made with Palworld's capture mechanic in mind. Now, it did force, Pocket Pair and Palworld to remove the throwing and summoning of spheres, from the game temporarily, as they say, but we'll see what happens if they actually put it back into the game. Nintendo has been denied a patent in Japan for a capturing mechanic similar to that seen in some Pokemon games, like Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu, as well as Pokemon Go. So it's absolutely hilarious that even a game that's not even developed by the Pokemon Company, it's been used against them in the patent office. The application was made in March of 2024 and partly describes the act of catching a character in-game in a method that appears to be similar to that in the Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee games. Among the patent's description via machine translation, the mechanic, quote, causes the computer to, when the capture item hits the field character, makes a capture success determination as to whether the capture is successful. Now, you do get a percentage of whether or not the Pokemon is going to be captured, which is basically what it's telling you. The application also describes numerous other situations, including using a similar mechanic to hit characters with items which can, quote, restrict the movement of the field character on the field, such as throwing spherical objects like Pal Spheres or Pokeballs. However, as spotted by GamesFrame, the application has now been rejected by the Japan Patent Office, or the JPO, after it looked at prior art, examples of the invention being used before the application was made, which had been submitted by a third party, which is absolutely hilarious. Basically saying that these mechanics were used in games before the patent was even created, so they're basically telling you that you can go fuck yourself. The notice of refusal were published by the JPO says, quote, the inventions claimed in this application were invented in Japan or elsewhere before the filing of the application. It then cites examples of games like Ark, Craftopia, Monster Hunter 4, and Pokemon Go, so its own Pokemon games, where the mechanics existed before the patent was filed for, which have mechanics which could fall under the descriptions in the application, suggesting those ideas already existed. According to GamesFrame, it's, quote, plausible that Pocket Pair could have been the third party that provided the prior art to the Japan Patent Office. While the Japan Patent Office's refusal isn't binding on the ongoing legal battle between Nintendo and Palworld studio Pocket Pair, especially because Nintendo can still appeal or amend the application, it's noted that judges tend to respect the decisions made by patent examiners who have more training in this field. As such, Pocket Pair could point to this application refusal in an attempt to influence the judge's decision. So basically pointing to the fact that most judges will typically respect the decision of these patent examiners, the people that examine these patents thoroughly, as a way of saying, we don't really have the experience or knowledge of this, so we're going to leave it in the hands of the patent examiners, and we're going to agree with what they say because they have more experience in this field when it comes to patents over the judge themselves. Nintendo and the Pokemon Company filed a lawsuit against Pocket Pair in Japan of last year, alleging that Palworld infringes on 3 patents that are related to monster catching gameplay, including summoning pals by throwing Pal Spears and using pals as vehicles like gliders. Last month, Nintendo successfully acquired a U.S. patent on a gameplay mechanic which covers the action of summoning another character and making them battle on the player's behalf. Now, this is a huge problem when it comes to game mechanics, where you have places like WB that patented the Nemesis system, so it's not available for anyone to use until 2030, which is absolutely stupid why you would patent game mechanics that would essentially remove all sorts of creativity when it comes to building video games. So the Japan Patent Office rejects Nintendo application relevant to Palworld dispute, cites games like Ark as prior art after third-party submission. Nintendo's patent infringement litigation against Palworld maker Pocket Pair is still ongoing. Nintendo clings to all sorts of theories to defend its patents against Pocket Pair's invalidity arguments, including the position that mods should not count as prior art. It may be part of a PR strategy to distort the reality of who was first to create what, given that Nintendo itself is apparently developing a Pokemon spin-off with Palworld-like elements. A decision called Office Action made by a patent examiner of the JPO less than 2 weeks ago cast serious doubt on the validity of 2 of Nintendo's 3 Japanese patents in suit, which are the, of course, mounting and capturing of characters with a spherical object, which is absolutely insane to me. Nintendo now faces the choice between abandoning the embattled patent application or, which is the more likely to the next step, trying to persuade the patent examiner based on a modified patent application with amended claims. Also, when the process at the patent office is over, an appeal to a specialized court named Intellectual Property High Court is possible. So they could absolutely try to amend the patent or try to make an appeal for the patent, which is absolutely insane to me that Nintendo would absolutely continue to try to remove creativity and try to patent game mechanics that have been around for a very long time prior to Pokemon even being a thing. Or the fact that there are games that have had these mechanics prior to the Pokemon Company and Nintendo patenting the game mechanics. Like I said, World of Warcraft, they've even mentioned Ark and Craftopia. I've mentioned Final Fantasy XI and Final Fantasy XIV where they've had mounting mechanics, but there have also been games like Monster Rancher and Digimon that have these capturing game mechanics. So, of course, Palworld Updates puts out this right here, says progress, #Palworld. Nintendo's patent relevant to the Palworld case has been rejected by Japan's office for lacking originality. Of course, everybody's cheering in the comments, saying that Palworld and Pocket Pair got a huge W over Nintendo, as they should, because you should not be allowed to patent game mechanics and disrupt creativity when it comes to making video games. And claiming that you own a patent to something that's been used all the time in multiple game series, like again, Ark and World of Warcraft, and Pocket, and Digimon and Palworld and things of that nature, before you even patent the mechanic, is absolutely disgusting and stupid. And I'm so glad that Palworld is getting this massive W over the Pokemon Company and Nintendo, because this is absolutely disgraceful of Nintendo be doing this for being such a big company as they are. Rather than innovating with their newer Pokemon games, they decided to try to remove the competition by claiming that they own mechanics that they clearly do not own. So good on Palworld and Pocket Pair for getting this massive W. And I thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, returning viewers. If you like the video, smash like. Comment below your opinion. Are you on the side of Pocket Pair or are you on the side of Nintendo? I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Subscribe for more content. Hit the bell for notifications. Set the bell to all. That way you'll get a notification anytime I go live or post a new video. See you all in the next one. Peace.